Hey, what is going on, brothers and sisters? Eric Rosen here, your internal strength coach, here to show you how to overcome your greatest challenges so you can shine your brightest light. Happy Friday. It's February 22nd, 2019. Thanks for stopping in. Let's talk today about what to do when you have a fresh start. Um, I think that we're all kind of getting a little bit of a fresh start right now. Some fresh energy, a new perspective that can come in, and just new opportunities, new doors that are opening, and just really overall just a new way of living your life. And I the caution that I would give is when something like this happens to uh, appreciate it, embrace it, and then also um, have the belief that this could be the new reality. This could be, how things are now. That the other shoe isn't necessarily going to drop. It doesn't mean, oh, I'm feeling good now, but when's this going to change? Those kind of self-limiting beliefs that can come in. And it's also not being too lazy. I think with the energy of um, like not taking advantage of all the good things that are going on, and also not trying to do too much with it too, um, because really the power that we're going to find is in the day in day out activities of committing to our journeys. Right? It's not the burnout that we can sometimes put ourselves through, where we get really ambitious and we try to get a bunch of stuff done in a day, and then um, I don't know, we stay up too late, or we got up too early, we mess up our sleep schedule, we overstimulate ourselves, we stress ourselves out, we put too much of the yang energy out there in the world, and we don't take enough breaks. So it's really, I think it's an opportunity to, when you get a fresh start, to live life the way that I think that God intended us to live, and it's in more of a state of surrender, of a state of going with the flow and going with the energy. It doesn't mean being passive and not, doing work and committing to your purpose. But I think that it means that suffering is optional. The pain part of life is inevitable, but the suffering is what we inflict on ourselves when we try to resist the pain and resist that there are, malefic things that happen. There are challenging things that happen, and seeing the silver lining in those things and knowing that that's for our growth. And it's a way that you can live life in more of a poised fashion. If you've ever seen someone in their elder years who seems successful and they seem just really poised and calm, and yet they're involved in like a lot of high stakes business opportunities, and you just look at that person, you're like, wow, like they've got so much going on for them. I think that's the wisdom that they've learned, is that you can build something awesome in your life, but yet it doesn't mean that you have to be the person that's killing themselves 70 hours a week thinking that's what you have to do to get ahead. Nor does it mean to that um, money is like a bad thing and that you should just do the bare minimum, the minimum pieces of flair, like an office space, to just get by with things. So I mean, that's my take on it. You got a fresh start. What are you going to do with it? I think that's really the question to ask yourself. That's the action item, is what are you going to do with this energy? Um, are you going to make the best of it? Are you going to embrace it, or are you going to second guess it? And it's not to scare you and be like, oh, don't mess it up. It's just saying like, hey, like, here you go. Here's your fresh start. You got through some rocky stuff, and now you have this awesome opportunity to, do work, but do work in like a flow state. Like Saturn is still in Capricorn. It's going to be here for a while. So it really is all about, getting up the mountain in terms of achievement and growth, and just, restricting opportunities to opportunities that are in alignment with your purpose. But Saturn also gives you a free pass to, um, you know, not have to feel suffering if you're in alignment. So I think this is the new reality that we live in. I think that the suffering, um, is going to feel even more sufferable. It's going to feel even more powerful the more that we resist being in alignment, the more that we resist purpose, the more that we ignore the call that we all feel to do something with our lives that's in purpose, the more that we try to numb out with our vices. I think the more pain you're going to find, and Saturn doesn't like that shit. It really doesn't. And I think that's where the increased suffering comes from, is part of that aspect of Saturn being here. So I think too that I don't want to paint a picture of this like being like some type of like militant, like boot camp thing, like you got to shape up or ship out type thing, or get your ass kicked if you don't shape up. The thing is that with everything else going on in the astrology, with Neptune being in Pisces, which is a very spiritual, planet, I think that it's about knowing that if you stay in alignment, if you stay in purpose, the thing is that purpose is always going to be, filtered through the heart in the first place. So it's always going to bring with it like the most awesome joy and bliss that you could ever have. So by committing to that purpose, you're not just ignoring things that aren't good for you anymore, that aren't in alignment, your vices. You're moving towards something that is just like your true happiness. And this is why I think that nobody can really answer, what is the definition of happiness, or how to be happy, or any of these questions that people ask them. The answer to happiness, this may be a cliche at this point, it really does lie within. And it lies within following your inner guidance system of your truth, of knowing what it is that you're supposed to be doing that's in alignment, and focusing on the future and focusing on what you want to move towards, as opposed to any loss that you feel that you endure by leaving things behind that are no longer in alignment for you. So this is the leap of faith. The leap of faith is that you put in the work now and you stay in alignment. You stay with this new awesome energy of, this renewal, and let that good energy carry you through the journey, carry you through the work process. So, that you're going to get to this awesome, happy place that you're searching for, because you're following your purpose. But it's not going to be all bumps and bruises and just challenges along the way if you can align, with this new energy that's coming up. And again, it becomes the proverb, or whatever you want to call it, of where it's actually the journey, it's not the destination. And that's so true. So anyways, that's what I got for you guys today. So this was, I did announce today's video as the 22nd, which I am filming this on the 22nd, but technically I was supposed to put out a video yesterday, the 21st. I did not do that. I'll tell you a quick reason why, that'll actually feed into like me telling you about my services here at the end of the video. Obviously, you guys know I do the coaching, I do the personal training. Obviously, the coaching is always going to be, my understanding is always going to be rooted in spirituality, but that doesn't mean that I'm going to like rub that stuff in your face. I'll meet you wherever you're at in life. I mean, if you're just looking for, you just want to improve relationships, but you're not trying to bring astrology or God into it, that's fine. None of that stuff has to be relevant if you don't want it to be. I can support you wherever you're at. And then The same thing goes with the fitness training, with the personal training. I meet you where you're at on that. So one of the new little wrinkles in my service that I'm looking at offering is actually being a feng shui consultant, believe it or not. It was really bizarre how this came up, but nonetheless, I was drawn to it. Feng shui really is just simply the Chinese art of energy flow in your home. It's about harmonizing the energy in your home, just like you feel better around a positive group of people as opposed to a negative group of people. You're going to feel better in a positive home versus a negative one. A negative home would be a house that's like super cluttered, not very good. Um, Layout of the home in terms of like the furniture, just like, you know, not there's no places that you walk through the home and it's hard to get through, that kind of stuff. And then a positive home, of course, is going to be like no clutter and certain elements and colors like balanced throughout the home, but it's a whole deal. But I was looking for my list, but I am actually doing free consultations for that right now as I work towards that final step of the certification. So I actually have one business, one residential, and one nonprofit organization that I'm going to do. So this is the first place that I'm putting that announcement out there. So if you guys have been loyally following me, you guys get first dibs on this opportunity if you would like your home done or your business done or know someone who wants to, and then of course the nonprofit as well. And the reason I actually didn't get to the video yesterday was because I did a residential feng shui consult, and I didn't realize it until this morning, but there was this one particular hallway where it was very, very dark upstairs and there was no windows, no sunlight or anything. And as soon as I walked up the stairs, it's like, this hallway is like super creepy. And I didn't say anything to my friend right away who I did this for. And then when we got to the room, I told him that. And it was very interesting. I suggested, just putting like a little lamp or a nightlight on the hallway to light it up. And he does a lot of art and creativity. I recommended putting some of those on the wall because it's actually the children and creativity section of the house. And I just was filled with a lot of joy when I made these recommendations, because you could really feel just the dark energy in this hallway. And I asked him about it, and he said, yeah, actually there was like a darker ghost, like a spirit that used to hang out in this over 100-year-old home that was up there. And one of the things that I haven't become consistent in doing, which I need to do overall, not just for feng shui consults, but is to not only protect myself before I enter into someone's home, because you never know what energy you're entering into, but then also kind of like cleansing myself when I leave. And I was just like in kind of a funky mood last night, and I tried to kind of set my head straight before bed, and I woke up kind of like in that same funky mood. I'm just like, man, this sucks, because I was in some like really awesome energy. I was feeling this renewal energy that I'm describing in the video, the first part of the video. And it was then that I realized that I might have like had some of that stuff on me. So all I really had to do was just make the intention to cleanse that energy and become aware of it. And then instantly my state just changed. So that said, that ties in well too with what I'm talking about in terms of the energy of renewal. And this is the last thing I'll say, is that your negative thoughts, your self-limiting beliefs, the places you go, the people that you're around, if they're all negative, you will take on that vibration. But you have to start to become aware of this, how this energy works, and know that when you start to have like a string of shitty thoughts, that's not signifying like, oh, I knew it, the other shoe dropped, I moved into this crummy energy. It's just like a roller coaster with feeling good one day, feeling bad the next. No, you are not your thoughts, and it's important to realize that. And just like there is in any religion, not that forgiveness is really even necessary, but or cleansing, but I mean, in a way, it is acknowledging that you do need to separate yourself and realize like, oh, this isn't me, this is that thing. Let me just make the intention that this is me, not that energy of those negative thoughts, not that energy of whatever I felt in that hallway, and make that separation. And you can cleanse it, you can say it, you can do whatever. So I think that's important for keeping yourself in this, happy, high vibrational state as you move forward. So make the best of this energy, all right? And also, I know that said it was the last thing, but you don't need to try to understand everything right now. And that's always going to be the case. We always want to have control, and we always want to know things. The energy is good right now. You might want to know where things are going. You might want to know what the destination looks like. Just stay in the energy, stay consistent with putting in your work day in and day out, and hold the vision of like what you want to move towards, and hold that high vibration, that positivity of the energy. And don't be afraid to explore new places, okay? New places. All right. Thanks, guys. Take care. And I'll put out another video later today to cover Friday's video, even though I did shoot this Friday afternoon, but this was technically supposed to be meant for Thursday. But I'm running long here, so hopefully I still got some words for you guys later. I'm sure I will. All right. Take care.